I got no camera. What the what? Give me one moment, guys. I don't know why the camera is blank. Give me like 30 seconds. Hey guys, it's Sim, and this is Wrestling Unlimited. Cameras now all off. What the hell? Okay, hold on. Pro Wrestling Unlimited, you know the spiel. We're here. We're talking Smackdown. Why is this all kinds of janky? I don't even know. It was fine, and then yeah. We're here to talk Friday Night Smackdown, which I thought was a good show till the end, and we got some news on why the end wasn't as good as it was supposed to be. We'll talk about that a little bit later and stuff, but to our Smackdown, let's go. I thought there was a lot of good wrestling on this show. I thought we got some really good matches from the LWO versus Street Profits match. And we had that match where it was Skye, well, not Skye. Skye and Asuka was great. But then we also had, who did Butcher Ridge Holland against the Brawling Brutes against Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. Give me them as a tag team all day. Like, they are perfect as a tag team, I think. I think they work well together. I think their gimmicks go well together. Austin Theory, Grayson Waller, tag team all day. Well, my big question is Paul Heyman Adam Pearce's boss? Because, like, they try to get that tag match made, and Adam Pearce is like, well, I got to go through their bloodline. They're like, what do you mean? Aren't you the boss? Don't you run things here? He's like, well, I got to talk to Paul Heyman. And then I'm like, what? Huh? Can't you just make matches and then say, well, I'm the boss, you have to do it? It's like any other match that doesn't need a contract signing. Like, I've always said this contract signing stuff in wrestling is stupid anyways. Why can't just whoever's in charge make the match say you're doing the match? Like, dumb. Dumb. Anyways, as far as the show overall, I thought it was a good show with a not good finish. And apparently the finish was supposed to be way better, but somebody got sick and had to leave early. That's all I'm going to say for now. We'll talk about it in a little bit. But with that, I want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited. YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you are watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can either help us out by hitting that donate button or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can subscribe to the channel one of two different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription, or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime, because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and you always get one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month, and I'd greatly appreciate it if you did right here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember, head over to YouTube, hit that join button, and become a channel member. Finally, head over to the Epic Games Store. Head over to the Epic Games Store and buy something. Whether you're buying a new game, whether you're buying an old game, whether you're claiming a free game or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, or Fall Guys, use this code right here, PW Unlimited, at checkout, and you will be supporting us at no extra cost. Been interested in Disney Speedstorm that drops next Thursday? Free for everyone. It's available, or going to be available, on the Epic Games Store. And when you get it on the Epic Games Store, at checkout, use this code. I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to want to play this game. You like Mario Kart? You like Disney? Well, it's better than Mario Kart, and it's Disney. It's a Disney kart racer, better than Mario Kart. So, how cool is that? You can play as Stitch, you can play as Lilo, Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Goofy, Daisy, Buzz Lightyear, Jesse, Woody. You've got Mike Wazowski, Sully, Celia May, Randall. So many iconic Disney characters, and more are going to come. Next week, when the game goes free to play, Aladdin, Jasmine, Jafar, the Genie. So, not sponsored, would like to be sponsored because I play the crap out of this game in early access. But go to the Epic Game Store, buy something, claim something, and use our code. As far as SmackDown itself does go, Kevin Patrick welcomes us to Friday Night SmackDown, and I want to do John Cena's music hits, and John Cena immediately comes down to the ring. So John Cena comes out, and before he could say anything, Cena played to the crowd. And the crowd went bonkers. Cena welcomed everyone to another sold-out Friday Night SmackDown. Cena said that he's been able to do a lot of things since he's been back. He said that he's been a host, a referee, a backstage correspondent. The crowd gave him a what every time, though, which is kind of funny. And Cena kind of gave it back in his own way. He played up to it. Cena said since he's been back, though, the shows have been sold out. But they haven't been like this tonight. Cena said that it's a special night because he doesn't want to be a ref. He doesn't want to be a host. He doesn't want to be a backstage consultant. Instead, Cena came back to WWE to compete, and he wants a match tonight. He wants that match against Bloodline. Cena said that he's both angry and excited. Angry at the Bloodline, but Cena is excited because he gets to fight those guys. Sikoa and Jimmy Uso, and he also gets a team with AJ Styles. Cue AJ Styles. AJ comes out. Styles looks like he wasn't too happy, but kind of happy for this. Like he wanted to do it, but didn't really want to do it. Took a few minutes to really warm up to, not really minutes, but moments to warm up to Cena. Styles took the mic from Cena, and the crowd chanted Styles' name. He stood there for a minute, taking it all in. Styles then asked Cena if Cena was sure he wanted to team with him. Remember back in the day, AJ was all about beat up John Cena. Beat up John Cena. So they weren't on the greatest of terms back in the day. Styles said, quote, Bloodline, if you want some, come get some. I liked AJ using John's line. I really like that. So Jimmy Uso's music hit, and Jimmy and Sikoa walked down to the ring and hopped onto the apron. Jimmy jaw-jacked a little bit, smiled, and then hopped off. Sikoa followed suit. Jimmy and Sikoa then walked up to the entranceway, and the segment just ended. Okay opening segment. We'll say that. Not great, but it was okay. So I'm like, okay, so we're getting the tag match. What's going on? No Adam Pearce yet. Go backstage after a break. There's AJ and John talking to Adam Pearce about the match. And god dang, Adam Pearce goes, well, you know how the Bloodline works. Like, we got to get it approved. And they're like, aren't you the boss? Don't you run things here? He's like, well, when you work at the Bloodline, you got to go and you got to talk to Paul Heyman and you got to do all that stuff and this and that and da-da-da. And they're like, okay, so are we not getting the match tonight or what? And they're like, we'll see what we can do. And I'm like, oh my God, this is dumb. So we had a really good tag match in about 10 and a half minutes. It was the LWO, Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar against the Street Profits, Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins. They did let us know that Rey and Santos will fight next week for the U.S. title, though. So that's coming. Dawkins and Escobar started off the match and locked up early. After going back and forth, Escobar landed a dropkick to take control. Mysterio tagged in, and Dawkins gained some quick control. Ford tagged in and hit a dropkick for a 2. After running the ropes, Mysterio landed a splash from the second rope. Ford was on the outside. Mysterio went for a sliding splash, but Dawkins moved Ford out of the way. Mysterio landed right on nobody. Escobar then tried to call for some help, but Dawkins slammed Escobar, and the show went to a commercial break. Back from the break, Ford hit a strong clothesline on Mysterio for a 2. Mysterio then, with Mysterio in the Prophet's corner, Rey fought his way out and came back with a short clothesline and a hot tag. Eventually, Mysterio ran forward into the second turnbuckle and then got the hot tag to Escobar. He came in and landed a pair of flying forearms. Escobar went to the top and hit a cross-body block for a 2. There was a chunky moment that resulted in Ford kicking Escobar and hitting a running frog splash. Ford went to the top, but Escobar cut him off and landed a Frankensteiner on the top rope. This then got Escobar a 2. Escobar hit a double knee on Ford and lifted Ford. Ford then fought out and landed a knee to Escobar's head. Dawkins then tagged in and slammed Escobar, and that was good enough for a 2. Escobar then hit a knee on Dawkins and tagged in Mysterio, who immediately landed a tornado DDT. Mysterio set up for a 619, but Dawkins countered with a sky-high powerbomb. Dawkins then body dropped Mysterio over the top rope, and Mysterio landed on Ford. Bobby Lashley then chokeslammed Mysterio as the referee was distracted. Dawkins lifted Mysterio up for a powerbomb, but Ray rolled Dawkins up and pinned him to pick up the victory. So there we go. The LWO do get the win, and then afterwards, Bobby Lashley is pissed. Bobby's looking at them like they've disappointed their dad, and he just walks away. And they're in the ring all dejected, like, oh my God, what happened? We lost. And Bobby's just super pissed off. So then they told us that The Rock was on the show last week. No duh. And that The Rock being on the show did like 153 million views on YouTube. Cool. Or on all across social media. So in the back, Adam Pearce was shown scolding Austin Theory. Oh, wait. So I missed the part. So they're talking about The Rock last week, and then Austin Theory shows up at commentary and starts like yelling at all them. That was all because of me. That was all because of me. And then, yeah. I don't know what that was kind of weird. But in the back, Adam Pearce was scolding commentary, or scolding Austin Theory. Brawling Bruce then showed up, and Ridge said that Theory was in embarrassment. And he was embarrassed by The Rock. Grayson Waller then showed up, and Butch chimed in, challenging Theory and Waller to a tag match. Pearce then made the match official. We go to the back. Bobby Lashley pissed at the Street Profits. Bobby literally told them, get it together, or you guys can go back to catering, and I'll find another team that can win. Damn. So is Bobby just a manager now? That's what it seems like. Like, when's the last time Bobby had a match? Bobby Lashley cage match. When was Bobby Lashley's last match? June 25th. A random house show against Baron Corbin. He hasn't worked a match on TV since May 12th, where he lost. No. He beat Austin Theory and Sheamus. Okay, wait, what? I don't remember all this, but. Oh, okay. He beat Austin Theory and Sheamus in a triple threat, and then later on in the night lost to AJ Styles in a world title and number one contender match. Gotcha. It was in a weird order here, so it confused me. But yeah, Bobby hasn't worked a match on TV. June, July, August, September. 3 months. Almost 3.5 months. Damn. But yeah, he literally told them, get it together, or you guys can go back to catering, and I'll find another team that can win. And I'm like, oh, frick. Claudio Johnson says, you lie about Becky Lynch going to Smackdown. No, I didn't. Becky said she was going to Smackdown. Watch. Don't call me a liar. I just read what Becky Lynch tweeted. So don't call me a liar there, buckaroo. Let's go Becky Lynch. Watch this. Look at what Becky's 11 hours ago tweet is. You want to see me a liar? I'm not a liar. I'm just telling you what Becky said. Look right here. The NBXT World Tour kicks off today. Glendale, Arizona. Smackdown. 9/22. What's the date today? You can't see it down there. 9/22. Kindly go touch some grass, bud. Get a life. Anyways, backstage, Adam Pearce found Paul Heyman. Pearce tried to talk to Heyman, but Heyman was talking on his phone. Heyman got a new phone or a new case or something, because he's had a red phone for a long time. Now he's got a black phone. Anyways. And Heyman was talking on his phone and then went back to the ring. We go back to the ring, and it's the women's title match. Io Sky versus Asuka. Match goes 19.5 minutes. Oh, these two worked their asses off. To have a great freaking match. I loved it. Cop just says, Becky didn't show up on SmackDown. Okay. But she said she was going to be there. So that's what I was reporting. That Becky said that she was going to be there. I even said that in the video this morning. That There's a chance Becky doesn't show up, but she says she's going to be at SmackDown. For all we know, she did a dark match or something. I don't know. But Becky's the one that said it. I was just reporting on what Becky said. Don't get mad at me, guys. Don't shoot the messenger. Anyways, right before the bell rings, out comes Charlotte Flair to watch at ringside. The match starts. The two lock up, and they trade a series of moves until Asuka worked a side headlock. Skye returned the favor. Skye ran the ropes and cartwheeled her way past Asuka. Asuka hit some kicks and ultimately landed a pair of arm drags. Asuka went to the second rope, and Skye followed her to land an arm drag from the second rope. Asuka then went to the outside, and Skye went for a moonsault, but Asuka moved. Asuka then hit a high kick and to Skye's head, and the show into a commercial break. Kopcha, you're completely wrong. You couldn't be farther from the case. You're 100% wrong. And I'll tell you why here in a little bit. Back from the break, the two were on the top rope, and Skye stretched Asuka's arm over the top rope. Skye then hit a pair of springboard shotgun drop kicks. Skye hit a double stomp and double knees for a 2. Skye went to the top, but Asuka cut her off and slammed her on the top turnbuckle. Skye came right back and slapped the hell out of Asuka. Asuka came right back and hit some Kawada kicks. Asuka then landed a superplex, which landed on a good near fall. Skye did fire up here, but ultimately ran into a knee from Asuka, which got Asuka a 2. Skye then came back with throat chop drop, that I call it, which got her down for a 2. Skye then hit a German suplex, but Asuka countered into a modified Kimura. Skye then found her way out of it and landed some kicks to Asuka's head. Asuka kicked Skye, and they went to the top rope, and she hit a missile drop kick. Asuka followed that up, though, with a hip attack and a series of back fists and kicks. Asuka landed a sliding kick for a good near fall. Asuka then sunk in an arm bar and eventually got up the ropes. Asuka was on the second rope, but Skye cut her off and landed a drop kick, which took Asuka to the outside. With Asuka on the apron, Skye went for something, but Asuka held on until she didn't. Asuka then kicked the ring post after Skye moved. Asuka then hit a moonsault on Skye then hit a moonsault on Asuka, who was still outside the ring. The show then went to another commercial break. Back from the break, Skye was working a rear chin lock inside the ring. Skye hit another German suplex for another good near fall. Skye went for a crossface. Skye went for a crossface. Everything froze on me. Give me 1 second, guys. It's refresh. Here we go. Okay, I think we're good now. Skye countered a pin attempt, which broke up the submission attempt. Skye then came back and kicked. Asuka then came back and kicked Skye in the head, which got Asuka a 2 count. Asuka went to the second rope and hit a missile drop kick, which was good enough for another near fall. They traded some elbows while on their knees. Asuka rolled into an armbar, which turned into another Asuka lock, but Skye fought out. Asuka then came right back and went for an Asuka lock again, but Skye fought out. Asuka went for another Asuka lock, and Skye was fading, but Bayley put Skye's leg on the bottom rope, and that broke the hold. Charlotte didn't like that, though. She walked over and got rid of Bayley. Skye then took advantage and hit a wild knee. Skye followed this up with the moonsault and pinned Asuka. So there we go. Skye does pick up the victory. Io Skye retains the WWE Women's Championship. The Bloodline were seen backstage, and Adam Pearce appeared. Pearce brought a contract for the tag team match, and Heyman said that's fine as long as the match wasn't tonight. Jimmy Uso said that they'll be in the ring tonight to sign the contract, while Heyman and Solo looked unpleased. Jimmy doing a lot of shit that's going to get his ass beaten, not by John Cena or anybody else. It's the Bloodline. Bloodline's going to beat Jimmy's ass. I can see it now. Jimmy's getting too cocky and too big for his own britches. And I think it's stupid as fuck, but Heyman told Jimmy that decision cannot be made by him. It needs to get approval from their tribal chief first. Jimmy told Heyman to let him know what Roman says. Solo then told Heyman not to worry about it because after tonight, there won't be anyone left to fight. Video played. It was pretty deadly. This pretty deadly stuff's kind of stupid. He's got a messed up shoulder, but he's acting like his whole body is messed up and he can't walk. Yeah, okay. So we then go to a tag match. Give me 1 second. I need to look at something someone just sent me. We have some breaking news. Okay, no, never mind. So it was Ridge Holland and Butch, the Brawling Brutes, against Austin Theory and Grayson Waller in an 11-minute match, like just shy of 11 minutes. Waller beat up Butch to begin the match. Butch came back and did the finger spot on Waller, and Butch tagged in Holland. Holland swung Waller around the ring and lifted Waller up for a suplex, which he completed. Butch tagged in and hit a shotgun dropkick on Waller. This is when commentary started talking about the tournament, the what is it called? The Heritage Cup tournament on NXT. Talking about how Butch and Tyler Bate had a really good match, and the tournament's just been really good. Basically, they were like, go out of your way to watch Butch versus Tyler Bate on NXT this past week, which I agree. It was a phenomenal match. Butch ran the ropes, and Theory held up the ropes, which meant Butch went spilling to the outside. Butch and Waller fought on the outside. Butch and Holland did the 10 beats on Waller and Theory before Butch rolled back in the ring, and the Brutes started playing up to the crowd to show them to a commercial break. When the show returned, Theory had control and was pounding on Butch. Waller and Theory clotheslined Butch repeatedly. Waller went for his version of the 10 beats, but Butch countered and did the finger spot. Got a hot tag to Holland. Fired up and landed a series of slams on Waller. Theory tagged in, and Waller chop blocked Holland. Theory then hit an elbow, and Butch broke up the pin attempt, and things broke down from here. Waller rolled into the ring, but Holland cut him off with a spear. Holland then power slammed Theory for a 2. Butch then landed a moonsault on Waller, who was on the outside. Meanwhile, Holland lifted Theory, but Theory rolled out of it, and Holland then followed that up with the Alabama Slam for a 2. Holland worked a Boston Crab, but Waller broke it up with a rolling stunner. Theory then followed this up with an A-Town down and picked up the victory, winning and beating the Brawling Brutes. After the match, Michael Cole said, "Wow, sounding all surprised, that was a great match." So I think these two are going to be a great tag team if that's the route they're going to go as an actual tag team. Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, that is. So we do know next week on Friday Night SmackDown, Grayson Waller will be hosting the Grayson Waller Effect with special guest Bobby Lashley. We also do know that Bayley will be going one-on-one with Charlotte Flair, and with the U.S. title on the line, Rey Mysterio will defend against Santos Escobar. So what we're going to do here is we're going to just run down the final closing segment and then tell you what the change was, because something was changed pretty big for this segment. And I didn't like this end, which I get it, but they could have done something better. Adam Pearce introduces the greatest of all time, John Cena. Cena ran to the ring and signed the contract instantly. AJ's music hits. No AJ. Cameras then cut to the back with Jimmy Uso beating the crap out of AJ. Cena ran to the back to help. Solo jumped off a bunch of travel cases onto Styles, and the backstage crew went nuts. Solo and Jimmy then left the scene with Styles laying there unconscious, motionless. Cena finally got to him and yelled for help as the show went to a break. The show returned, and Styles was being stretchered out of the building, put into an ambulance, and Paul Heyman was walking slowly to the ring by himself without any entrance music. We then go to the back again, and John Cena's watching them put AJ in the ambulance. Michin's there. Carl Anderson's there. No Big LG, no Luke Gallows. And Michin's like, "We gotta go. Well, I'm going with AJ. If you want to go, you can go. I don't care." And Carl looks at John and goes, "I told him not to get involved with the bloodline stuff." And he gets in the ambulance as well. And Pearce then does his, "Pop, get this thing out of here," like he always does when there's an ambulance. He does the same thing every time. The doors close. He smacks the doors twice and says, "Get this thing out of here." Always predictable with Adam Pearce in an ambulance. So the ambulance drives off. Sco and Uso then also walk down to the ring. No music. Very weird. Skye threw all the chairs on the contract signing table out of the ring. The crowd was booing. Heyman tried to talk, and the crowd booed very loudly. Heyman did his, "My name is Paul Heyman." Heyman said that he had a contract in his hand, and it was signed by John Cena, but no tag team partner for Fastlane. What does that mean? As Heyman was about to go on, all of a sudden Jimmy just stonk, grabs the mic right out of his hand, yoinks it. He says, quote, "Look what happens when you mess with the bloodline." Jimmy said if Cena was smart, he would have jumped in that ambulance with them and gotten as far away as he can from the bloodline. Jimmy said that Cena is going to end up in an ambulance himself anyways. Cena then ran down to the ring and shoulder blocked Jimmy. Cena slammed Jimmy and lifted Solo up for an AA, but Jimmy super kicked John. Skye then set her for a Samoan spike and landed said Samoan spike. Jimmy and Solo then put the boots to John Cena. Jimmy went to the second rope and applauded Skye. Jimmy then went to the top rope and hit the Uso splash on Cena. Jimmy grabbed the contract from Heyman and signed it. Jimmy gave it to Skye and he signed it as well. Jimmy then slammed the contract right on the chest of John Cena. Then he went to the top rope again and hit another Uso splash. Jimmy and Solo then gave the point to the crowd, "We the ones," and stood over John Cena. From here, the show just kept kind of seeming like it was over, and they kept stretching for a couple minutes. Then the show went black, and then it came back and the show went black. Then it came back and the show went black again. I'm like, what the hell's going on? And yeah, very weird. Very weird. So, we have learned a couple of things. So, Smackdown goes off the air, and the whole closing segment of the show just feels awkward, feels weird, feels like, what the hell? This is the best they can do? And then we learn, well, it's not the best they can do. It's not what they were planning on doing, because LA Knight was actually supposed to be in this segment. So, Fightful reports LA Knight was supposed to be in this segment. He's originally listed for this segment to come out and help John Cena. Then, PWU Insider comes out with some news, as I'm going to read it here from Mike Johnson, as he states the following. LA Knight was scheduled to be part of the final segment for tonight's Friday Night Smackdown, but was pulled from the event after testing positive for COVID-19 earlier in the day. PWInsider.com has confirmed with WWE. Knight left the tapings as soon as he tested positive. We are told that Knight gave the company permission to pass on his status. Not sure what that means. We are told that Knight's absence led to late creative changes, leading to John Cena's beatdown by the Bloodline to close the show. The original plan was for Knight to get involved and align with Cena, which would have been a big moment for him. Knight and Cena versus the Street Profits was at one point scheduled for the post-broadcast dark match. PWInsider.com sends their best wishes to Knight on a full recovery. So yes, LA Knight did test positive for COVID. Not sure exactly how that all went down, how he was there at the building and then tested positive. Maybe he was there and wasn't feeling good, so they tested. I don't know. But hopefully he didn't pass the COVID on to anybody else. But regardless, he tested positive at the building, left early, and they had to change the end of the show. So there is, still one more Smackdown before Fastlane. So they could do something next week if LA Knight gets cleared. If LA Knight gets un-COVID, or a negative COVID test, I guess you could say. But yeah, LA Knight had to leave early for COVID, and that's why the end was so weird, because they had to change a bunch. So we'll follow the story very closely and see what we can find out more on LA Knight and his status for not just next week's SmackDown, but the Fastlane pay-per-view as well. But with that, guys, that is going to... I always keep forgetting to do this Twitch poll, because the way Twitch works is if I set it up too early, then no one sees it. So sorry about that. But if you did vote on the other polls, we're going to check them out right here. We got a YouTube poll, we got a YouTube live poll, and we got a Twitter poll. So let's refresh all of those. As far as the Twitch poll does go, 46% liked the show, 41% thought it was just all right, and 11% did not like it. Looking at the YouTube community poll, 65% liked the show, 26% thought it was just all right, and 8% did not like it. Finally, the YouTube live poll. 68% liked the show, 27% thought it was just all right, and 8% didn't like it. Also, some of the comments on the YouTube poll. The person says, loved it. The person says, solid show. Very good women's match. Yeah, it was. The person says, come on. We need 4 matches liked. I don't know what that means. This person says, loved it. This person says it was okay. This person says 6 out of 10. And this one says boring. But with that, guys, that is going to wrap everything up. Rampage is still on because it's a 2-hour show, so it's still got 45 minutes. Go watch that. I don't know. But with that, again, I'm going to wrap everything up here. I want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you're here, I appreciate you. Thank you, and have a great night. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next time. I'm probably going to be streaming a little bit later, twitch.tv/Timmy Buddy. Have a good one, guys.